Hello fellow collectors, enthusiasts and nostalgia seekers. Today the Fantastic Four Toybiz Series 1 review. Yes, this was of course part of the Marvel Action Hour, so we got Iron Man and then Fantastic Four. It was presented by Stan Lee, which is the first time as a child I ever knew who Stan Lee was, especially his face and who the guy was behind creating all of these wonderful characters, which was really cool. Over in the UK we didn't have adverts, so we got a Hulk cartoon slotted in because there was no adverts on the BBC, which is just a little bit of interesting, because I know if you're over in the States you would have had adverts in between, or commercials as you call them. Yeah, a great series of figures, and Iron Wolf asked me if I'd be doing these, and I plan to do the all the different series, and it turns out I was missing a figure from the first series, and I like to call it Figure Mirage because I see so many, I buy so many, and I just didn't realise I didn't have it. I have it now, so that's really cool. And let me know in the comments if this ever happens to you. If you want to support this channel, please leave a comment. I will get back to you. Please hit that like, and if you haven't already, please turn on notifications so you know when the next AAA Reviews video is coming out. I would really appreciate that. Yes, a great set and series of figures, and I have added a figure that is not on the back of the box to this review because I believe it possibly could have been part of the first wave, but a bit like Eric the Red from the X-Men, who wasn't on the back of that series of figures I did just recently. I think this potentially is the same. I may be wrong, but I've added it anyway. It doesn't matter, it's here, it's going to be added into this video review, so there's an extra figure reviewed no matter what. Yes, a great TV series. The tune does stick in my head when I think of it. They changed the theme tune in the second series, which wasn't presented by Stan Lee, and I don't think it was as good as the first series. The music, the theme tune, it was really cool. It was definitely of that 90s sort of time. I'll try not to say the word fantastic too much because it's a word I use to describe figures all the time, especially Toybiz figures, so I'll try not to do that because that's going to be just tons of puns. Yes, a great series, a great set of figures released by Toybiz. Definitely look like their counterpart. I remember my mum telling me the story of where she would go to a place called Quick Save over in the UK, which is like a food shopping place, no longer around. It's no longer trading, but at the time she found these figures and she picked me one up or two up each week and added it to the shopping. They were just £3 each, and she would pick the rarer ones and each week go back and get me more. And I remember that being the same year I got the X-Men jet as well, and it was the best Christmas I ever had, bar none. I can remember being 9 years old and it was definitely the best Christmas, one that I can remember vividly to this day. So these are really cool. It wasn't as popular as say the X-Men or the Spider-Man animated series, but I loved it. Me personally, absolutely loved this. I've seen people sort of criticize it, adults criticize it now, but don't think they would have spotted that as a child. It's as they get older, someone says something and then they all jump on it and go, oh yeah, this and that. I think I saw some comments the other week, someone moaning about the episode where Johnny Storm is singing and saying how sort of cheesy and that is. Guys, as kids, you don't think of that. That was cool. That's just my opinion, of course. We've all got different opinions. Anyway, with all that said, let's jump into this review. Let's go back and look at these figures from the 1990, I think it was 1994. Yes, 1994. Let's go back and look at these Toybiz figures from 1994. Okay, so we start off with this super awesome Fantastic Four box artwork here. All the characters in the Fantastica on the front. That super reflective, shiny sort of around the Fantastic Four. It's just really cool and definitely of its time. And the first character is none other than one of the Inhumans, or the leader of the Inhumans, Black Bolt, capable of being able to scream and destroy planets. We did see them in the animated series, and I think this is a great character to start off with. Typical articulation of the time, guys. There was some articulation in the arms there, some articulation in the knees, maybe possibly a little bit in the head. But this one has a gimmick where if you sort of push the button in the middle, his arms sort of shoot up. Of course, he's been in the multiverse of Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, so he's still a character that they're using today, which is really cool. Yeah, there's that gimmick that I'm telling you about. A great character and part of the first series of Fantastic Four figures released by Toybiz. Next up, we've got the lovable blue-eyed Thing, voiced by Chuck McCann. A really cool character and a tragic character, really, because he's the only one that's appearance sort of changes and he can't change it back. But a great character, all in orange. I mean, he looks just like his animated counterpart. I think he's one of my favourite characters all time, actually, the Thing. He's just great. Ben Grimm, the Thing. And this is actually a European version I'm showing you at the moment. I will show you what the differences are. So if we look at a US version versus a European version, you'll see on the European version we only see 5 figures, whereas on the Toybiz released American version we see the Iron Man series of figures that were released in series 1 as well. And if we look at the front, you can see it's clobbering time, and the Marvel Action, as seen on the Marvel Action Hour up at the top there, whereas on the European version we sort of see it in different languages, and it probably says clobbering time down the bottom, but again it's in several languages throughout Europe. So that's just a little bit of something different to show you the differences between the two. I do have one loose, of course, which is nice. I wish I had them all loose to be able to show you them all, but it would just be too expensive. It's expensive enough picking them up individually. This is definitely a great character. Articulation in the head, shoulders, elbows and knees. So pretty much of its time. There's quite a lot of weight to this figure. Definitely one of the heavier ones of the series. And his gimmick, if you put your hand, it's quite difficult to do, but you're supposed to be able to put like your thumb or whatever and sort of get that twist action going, and then the Thing's clobbering begins. Definitely a great character. And just to mix it up a little bit here, guys, let's look at the Hasbro released Thing, which is awesome, I have to admit. Really awesome. Separate head there. But tell me what you think in the comments about this, guys. If you look at the artwork to the Thing there that you got there, that's more in keeping with the animated version and the one on the left. So I love them both, but I think the one on the left, the Toybiz one, I know it's a biased opinion because I had it as a kid, is still my favourite, even though the one on the right by Hasbro is magnificent. Next up, we've got the Mo Man. Of course, a great episode where he makes all the buildings sort of go down under the ground. I mean, when you think back to the story, it's amazing they never got destroyed and ruined, and the Fantastic Four would be able to put them all back up. I mean, but you don't think of those things at the time. But yes, the Fantastic Four would be able to reverse his machine to suck down buildings. He comes with one of his little minions, and if we look there, there's a button. That button is so you can push it and his baton will twirl. That's sort of like the toy gimmick, if you like. Most Toybiz toys, as we know, had some sort of gimmick. I think a really good representation of his character. Some cool artwork on the back. There's the gimmick there where he can twirl his baton. Yeah, the Mo Man, definitely a great character, a great villain for the Fantastic Four. I like the Fantastic Four for all the different characters they had to face. Next up, we've got Terrax, one of Galactus's heralds, similar to the Silver Surfer, but the difference being is he enjoys what he does. He enjoys destroying planets. We do see him in an episode where he fights against the Fantastic Four with Firelord, but Firelord was released in a later series, so I'll have to review that when I get round to that series. Yes, he is a great character with his axe, got the power cosmic, just a complete tyrant really. A super cool character, one I picked up a while ago for around £35, I believe. He comes with an axe, and his gimmick is he sort of rides, if you pull back this bit of meteor that he's riding, he sort of goes along on his meteor, which I think is pretty cool. Definitely a great character in this lineup. And next we've got Mr. Fantastic, who was voiced by Bjorn Weaver. Definitely a great character. Definitely one you have to have. You have to have all the Fantastic Four. Let's be honest. We've got to collect them. He comes with like this sort of accessory of a space. It looks like a sort of harness, I guess. So nothing too special. But of course he can stretch. And the figure is able to stretch too, so you basically have like elasticated arms, and you're able to pull on the arms to mimic Mr. Fantastic's power. Now I do happen to have one of these loose, which is great, but as you can see, the arms have discoloured over time, and time has not been good to this figure when it's been out of the packet. The one I have in the packet is in excellent condition, but this one that's been played with, which is great because that's what they're meant for, has not done so well. As in, if I pull on the arm here, it sort of starts to it's gone brittle, it's got a slight tear, so I don't want to pull on it too much, and it's gone off colour. But nevertheless, we've got some articulation in the head, we've got some articulation in the knees. I had this figure as a child, and I loved it. It's a great representation of the animated counterpart. Now, interestingly enough, on the back of the box though, and that's something I've noticed, it shows him with regular arms, and I'm guessing they must have changed that and decided to go with the rubber arms. I've never seen one with normal arms. Next up, we've got Silver Surfer. Now, this wasn't the first time we'd seen this character. A lot of these characters actually had been in the Marvel superheroes, but here we have a Silver Surfer that is super chromed up. Look at that. Absolutely fantastic. He was voiced by Robin Sachs. Definitely a great character in the TV series. One of my favourites. He went on to have his own animated cartoon as well, and set of figures, which of course I'll get to at some point. But this one here is really great. I don't think it would have done so well out of the packet, guys, because the chrome would have come off. But I love the gimmick because you're able to put your finger into the surfboard and then fly around looking for planets for Galactus. That is so cool, and it's different to the one that we saw in the Marvel superheroes where you could pull it back a bit like the meteorite. So it's a different gimmick, which is really cool. Next up, we've got Dr. Doom, voiced by Simon Templeman. A fantastic villain. Definitely got to have a great villain. Definitely their deadliest foe, I would say. A great figure. They've redone it at Hasbro. I haven't picked that one up yet. I hope to, because it looks absolutely amazing as well. But this was the very first one that we got in this lineup, and he was in several episodes, of course. He wanted to take over the world. He really loathed Reed Richards. Of course, they were friends back in, I believe, in their youth, in college, if I remember rightly. But there he is, Dr. Doom, with a similar gimmick to the one of the X-Men figures, actually, where you can basically shoot out his arm and put it back in. So that is pretty cool. So yeah, Dr. Doom. And last but not least, and I've added him here, it's the Human Torch. But this is not the Spark version, this is the glow in the dark version. So basically you switch the lights off and he'll glow up. He comes with a catapult, sort of launching pad. There he is there. Human Torch, Johnny Storm, voiced by Quinton Flynn. A really cool character. Definitely a Jack the Lad sort of persona in the animated series. Always winding up the Thing and arguing with the Thing. Yeah, really good character. Definitely one you want in your collection. Yes, Flame On comes to mind. Just, he was always saying Flame On and then off he would go. It's really cool. Really cool character. Now I've added him. You'll see he's not on the back of the box. He's not on the back of the box here as part of this series, but if you look down there it says 1994, and I couldn't find this particular figure in with any of the other series. So since they go into 95 and so on, I've decided to add him in here. Now that could be a mistake, and he could be a variant. We could have had him and the Spark one, but the Spark one's got a different date on it, so I'm going to say possibly this was just like Eric the Red, not added in. to this lineup, as in on the pictures on the back. So here they all are, all of these great characters from series 1. I hope you'll agree. Definitely lots of cool memories attached to these figures and that animated series, because it's absolutely brilliant. And maybe some of you, after seeing this, will go back and start watching that animated series again. I certainly hope so. It is on Disney Plus. But yeah, a great set of figures that Toybiz brought out to complement that TV series. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope to see you again soon. Good luck searching for that toy gold.